We are at the half point of COP28, and I think based on the momentum, the traction, and all that has been happening over the past week, we can simply agree that there is something special happening here at COP28 and in Dubai. In fact, I've heard the same comment from many people in this room, from the negotiations teams, as well as from many people outside of the negotiations teams across the blue zone and the green zone. What we have collectively accomplished only in a week is, in my view, nothing short of being historic. In just 7 days, we have demonstrated that multilateralism does actually work. It is alive and well. We adopted the agendas in the first hours of the first day, and that is something I don't recall happening before. We delivered landmark decisions on loss and damage, and that's the first time substantive decisions have been adopted at the opening of a COP. This was a milestone achievement for vulnerable people around the world, and it only happened because parties came together in solidarity, unity, and action. And allow me to say that you should all be very proud of this extraordinary achievement. I thank you all for your engagement and support. On top of that, in the first hour after gathering the decision, we began to capitalize the fund, and so far we have $726 million in pledges. And it is my promise that I will keep pushing for more. We catalyzed action across climate finance, nature, energy, and methane, as well as the first ever COP declarations on cooling, health, and food. And we have mobilized over $83 billion in commitments, pledges, and investments so far. These great successes on the action agenda show us what is possible through cooperation, through collaboration, through partnership, and in the spirit of true, sincere, genuine partnership and collaboration. That said, such commitments and declarations can only raise the bar higher. We must capitalize on this opportunity, and we must use this momentum to drive delivery of the highest ambition across the negotiated outcomes in week 2. I would like to thank the subsidiary body chairs, Ambassador Nabil Munir and Harry Vruls, along with the co-facilitators who have worked tirelessly over the past week. In fact, they have been working tirelessly, not only for weeks, in fact for months, to ensure that we are progressing towards an ambitious outcome at COP28. I thank them for their commitment, dedication, and hard work. Over the past day, we have seen conclusions on the host of the Santiago Network, gender, the Tech/CTCN Joint Annual Report, and RSO, and have seen progress on text on the Just Transition Work Program and the Mitigation Work Program, which will be forwarded to week 2. We are thankful to parties for their willingness to engage constructively and urge you to bring that same spirit of compromise and openness in week 2. It is clear that there is still much work to do. I am available to work with each and every one of you to deliver a historic package of outcomes. My door is wide open, and I encourage all of you to reach out to the presidency if you want to raise anything. I want to see parties step up of their comfort zones and find common ground to deliver a high ambition and balanced outcome. On the global stocktake, we welcome the hard work of the Joint Contract Group. It has been a monumental task in a short period of time. I thank Alison and Joe for their leadership and massive effort. It's important that we shift gears and that we get all ministers and heads of delegations engaged on all the elements of the GST. Let's deliver the true course correction that the science tells us we need to keep 1.5 within reach. The presidency welcomes the building blocks in the text and the views and submissions presented by parties. We consider all inputs to be part of the work forwarded by the subsidiary bodies to the CMA to conclude the work on the GST. We recognize the invitation to the CMA to produce a further revision of the text, taking into account the latest submission and views expressed by parties. And I have requested the co-chairs of the Joint Contact Group to support the presidency in refining and making available this revised version of the building blocks to take into account these views and submissions. The presidency will further convene consultations at the political level to inform how to take this forward. Adaptation is a key element of climate action. An outcome under the global goal on adaptation is essential to creating a pathway that makes a difference in protecting people, livelihoods, and ecosystems. The GGA must effectively capture those areas of work that will create a guiding star that builds resilience and reduces vulnerability. I will undertake consultations with ministers to determine the best way for the presidency to support parties to deliver a robust outcome for the GGA. I call on parties to also consider how we can make real progress to address the adaptation finance gap. All these issues require more work. Some need more time for further technical discussion, while some require engagement of heads of delegations or ministerial guidance. On Friday morning, I will convene a formal COP plenary to outline how I propose to organize work for the coming days to complete the remaining issues for an orderly closure of the conference on Tuesday, 12 December by 11 a.m. at the latest. Let's put a plan in place to work backwards from that so we can make it happen and deliver on Tuesday, 12 December by 11 a.m. at the latest. Dear colleagues, I remain committed to working with all parties in an open, transparent, and inclusive manner to achieve ambitious and impactful outcomes that demonstrate to the world that the multilateral process can deliver. Immediately after Friday's plenary, ministerial work on political issues will start with consultations, and we have, as you all know, we have no time to waste. We must get on ASAP. To do this, the presidency will assess the status of the different items and lay out a tailored approach to conclude all outstanding elements. We recognize that some may need more discussion and others require focused political engagement to find an overall balanced and comprehensive way forward. In this spirit, we intend to make use of all the tools available to address issues that need to be resolved in the second week, at the right level and at the right time. This includes launching consultations facilitated by the ministerial pairings that have supported the presidency's engagement across different issues areas over the past months. I shall further consider how to take forward unfinished work on some other outstanding issues, such as Article 6 and response measures. We further intend to bring discussions into single settings at head of delegation and ministerial level and shuttle diplomacy to ensure that as we bring together the different outcomes, we strike the right balance and achieve common ground. We know we can do this. I know you can do this. We have already done this at the start of the conference with the adoption of the loss and damage decisions. I intend to conclude this conference in the same positive spirit as it was opened, with the delivery of meaningful, concrete, and ambitious outcomes that will make us all proud. Outcomes that lay the groundwork for a just and equitable energy transition that keeps 1.5 degrees in reach. I will continue to ask parties to bring bridging proposals on fossil fuels, renewables, and energy efficiency in line with the science. We must create outcomes that guide action this decade, as well as the next round of nationally determined contributions. Outcomes that enable adequate, affordable, and accessible finance, and outcomes that are fair, based on the science, and mean developing countries don't have to choose between climate action and development. We must shift gears and complement the technical discussions with serious, real political engagement. We take very seriously the trust you are putting in us to take this work forward transparently and fairly. Let me be crystal clear that all views and options remain on the table. All options and views remain on the table. And let us truly honor all the work that has gone into the first global stocktake over the past 2 years. This coming week, let us give the world some much needed good news. Let's provide clear direction for a future that keeps 1.5 within reach, protects the most vulnerable, and provides socio-economic development for everyone and everywhere. Let us rise to this challenge to deliver the highest ambition possible through the global stocktake and all other mandates. We know what we need to do. Now let's get it done. As we all know, we really don't have any more time to waste. Colleagues, I hope you enjoy the rest day tomorrow, because when you come back, I will be counting on your energy, passion, commitment, and I need you all to come back in a much more energized fashion, and I count on all of you coming back with the positive spirit, with a spirit centered around unity, alignment, and solidarity. We have no choice but to deliver, and deliver the most ambitious outcome. I look forward to seeing you all on Friday morning, And allow me to say that this meeting is now adjourned.